Welcome to another Hearthstone live stream.
Yep, that's what we got to start. First, I wanted to introduce ourselves, I guess.
Sure, yeah. This is Eric Dodds, the lead designer of Hearthstone.
And this is Ben Brode. He's the other half of the design team on Hearthstone.
Welcome. And today, we're talking about the Forge.
Yep, the Forge. And I guess the first piece of news we have about the Forge is we're changing the name.
That's right. It's no longer called the Forge.
Yep. We decided to change it to the Arena.
And we changed it because in our internal testing, people sometimes got confused that it might be our crafting mode where you go and create cards.
Yeah, and crafting mode's awesome, and we want people to go there, but we don't want them to go there thinking, wait, am I playing this one-on-one mode? Am I crafting a card? Right. It was just confusing, and we wanted people to know what they were getting into.
So the Arena makes it very clear it's a competitive, at least one-on-one environment to play games.
An exciting place to go.
That's right. Now, you may not have heard about what used to be called the Forge, and now is the Arena before. So we'll give you a quick overview of kind of what to expect in the Arena.
Yep, so in the Arena, what you can expect is when you first enter the Arena, you are presented with 3 random heroes, and you choose one of those 3 heroes to build your deck around that you're going to make your picks after that with that specific hero.
Right. And once you've chosen your hero, we'll give you 30 choices of 3 cards each. Then you can choose which card you want to add to your deck. And then once you've done that 30 times and you have a 30-card deck, you'll play against other players who have done the same thing.
Yeah, and those cards that you're choosing along the way are randomly generated, so you don't know what your deck's going to look like at all. It's, are these going to be rares or epics or commons, or am I going to get 5 of the same type of card? It could be anything, and that's one of the things that's so exciting about the Arena is you just don't know what's going to happen when you enter it.
And because your collection of cards doesn't play into the picks that you get at all, it's kind of an even playing field. The people you're playing against, doesn't matter how big their collections are, they've gone through the same process you have, and you're playing against them in the same playing field.
Yep, it's totally level, and it's got this exciting picking process at the same time. It's my favorite way of playing. I love the Arena.
So we changed a few more things about the Arena. One of the things we changed is that as you go through the Arena, you may have heard before that you keep the cards. Now you don't keep the cards. And we did that because we wanted to make it really an easy choice and not have this tension that sometimes happens when you keep the cards, whether you want to choose it for your collection or for your Arena deck and trying to make the best Arena deck possible. And we want you just to make the best Arena deck possible, not have to worry about, do I have 2 copies of this, or should I take this, or...
Yeah, we just wanted that pure experience. Like, I'm building an awesome Arena deck, and that's all it's all about. And there's actually other reasons we made the change. I mean, one of the reasons we made the change as well was when we were deciding what cards we presented with you as you were sort of playing through the Arena, when it was a set of cards you were keeping, we had to make sure that the set of cards was exactly the same as the cards you might get if you open that many packs.
Right.
And so we were forced to go, okay, we have to have this many commons, this many rares, this is the distribution, which is awesome in packs, but in the Arena it was kind of forcing our hands and wasn't letting us make the most exciting experience we could.
Right, so now you can see a set of picks that are some basic, some expert. You might see more rares than before.
Yeah, we can make the perfect Arena experience, I guess.
And part of this is that we no longer you no longer get into the Arena by spending unopened packs. If you ever have open packs, you can open them and get the cards that are inside. But in order to get in the Arena, you can buy in with gold or with real money. But packs, you never have to have that worry, like, should I open this or spend it in the Arena? You always open your packs.
Yeah, there was this horrible tension that I'd have a bunch of packs and I'd go, well, I want to play in the Arena, so I want to save them, but I want to open them because opening packs is kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's not kind of awesome, it's totally awesome.
Well, there's a couple more things we've changed, but I think we'll just jump into the Arena and show you how it all works and show you maybe kind of some of the rewards, things we've done at the end of the run.
Sounds great.
All right.
Well, let's start talking. Stop talking and start playing.
All right. The Arena. So this is our first decision point here.
So we're presented with 3 heroes, and they all have such specific powers and sets of cards that they would bring along with them that this is going to be a tough choice.
Warlock, Warrior, or Mage?
So in this environment, I mean, Mage is always exciting because Mage is a class that has so much control of the tabletop, and that's actually pretty good in a Arena environment.
Yeah, and this has got secrets which are fun to watch, so that could be fun.
Yeah, so I like the Mage.
Now the Warlock has a great hero power specifically for Forge, I think. That hero power lets you draw additional cards. Sometimes your cards are not as good in the Forge because you didn't build a custom deck, and so that could be a great hero power to go with.
It is, although if we're facing a early rush deck, then it's going to be a little bit tougher because the Warlock's hero power actually does damage to the Warlock as they're drawing cards. So once we get a little low on health, that's a little dicey. And then, of course, there's the Warrior, which is great for the long game.
Yes.
Because you're providing armor, but you don't have that card draw or tactical gameplay control.
You know, in this build, this is our current development build that we're showing off today, and there's actually at least one kind of change to one or two of the cards in the Mage environment. So maybe we should show off the Mage and see if we get any of those cards.
I suppose people might want to be seeing some of the changes we've been making to the Mage, so that sounds great
Mage
to me.
it is, Jaina Proudmoore. And this is our first choice.
Whoa, very interesting.
Vaporize is great, I think, because it's removal. But removal in Forge, I don't know if it's better or worse because it's less likely to see as many legendaries or as many giant creatures.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a late game. If we could craft an entire game deck around Vaporize, it would be a great card. But I don't know if it's as strong in this environment, whereas I know I'm always a big fan of the Stampeding Kodo that destroys a random enemy with a 2 or less attack when it comes into play.
Eats Dollar on Mages and Acolytes of Pain.
Oh my god, it's so good against spell power
Now,
decks.
Knife Juggler, if we can get Mirror Image, is really strong.
Oh, that's true as well.
But in general, I like my Knife Juggler maybe better with Shaman or Paladin, who could guarantee to get minions with their hero powers.
And this is actually one of the interesting things about the arena, in that this is our very first pick, so we're going to be making choices that are going to be determining later choices.
Right.
And we don't really know what's coming, so if we thought, hey, we were going to get a lot of mirror images and Murlocs, the Knife Juggler would be a great choice.
Let's go with the Kodo.
I'm totally sold. The Kodo is a great pick. Interesting.
Well, just straight off the bat, I always respond well to the Silvermoon Guardian. I like that card a lot. Now, the Dark Scale Healer is really strong. I mean, it heals everybody.
And it's great if you have a bunch of cards out. It can totally turn the game around once you have a bunch of things on the table.
But we already just took a card that costs 5.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. I was thinking that
really
we can't
matter that much.
But I tend to agree. I like the Silvermoon Guardian. Costs 4. We'll probably get a 2 for 1 out of it.
Sure.
It seems. Ooh, another rare pick. I like it.
This is interesting. The Defender of Argus is just a great card. The Violet Teacher can be very good in a Mage deck.
Assuming we get enough spells.
Right.
And that's the big question here. Are we going to get the spells to power the Violet Teacher?
But the Karator Mage is just a really solid 4/3 for the 3 mana. And if it gets secrets, it's just, I think that's huge.
Yeah. It's kind of tempting to take the Karator Mage because there's so many secrets in Mage that if we get that combo, it's pretty strong. But the Defender of Argus, on the other hand, is powerful as well.
All these cards are good. This is a tough choice.
Yeah.
I could go. I probably am leaning towards either Defender of Argus or Karator Mage.
I'm leaning toward the Karator Mage. I think I have a little bit of different slant on this sometimes. I like it because it's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's true. Well, here's our opportunity to take our first secret with Mirror Entity, and that's a fun one.
Yeah, so, as a whole, we can look at this and look at the Ice Lance and go, Ice Lance is great if we're building a Frost deck, but it's so hard to make sure that we have enough Frost to power it.
Right,
so I think that one's probably out
Although
of
we might regret it if we get
we'll probably totally regret it, but that's sort of how the arena runs.
Yep. Well, Polymorph is strong. Again, I don't know how many giant minions we're going to see that we really want to polymorph.
Yeah,
I think
a Mirror Entity. And Mirror Entity, again, I'm coming from that would be pretty fun to play. Oh, I wonder if there's any choice here.
Yeah, I mean, Flame Strike is just...
it's so good at turning the game around. I mean, if we're already winning, it doesn't do you a lot. But if you're in trouble,
I totally
that
agree.
can just turn the game on its head.
Questing Adventure is tempting, but I think Flame Strike is probably the best card.
Questing Adventure would be good, again, if we could count on getting a lot of early cheap minions. But if you already look at the things we've chosen, they're already 3, 4, 5. So to start, we don't have a lot of cheap.
It's true. We're getting a little high, especially after we take Flame Strike here. Hey, there's one of the new changed cards. Fireball now costs 4 mana.
Yeah, so
that's a little better.
Yeah, we were looking at the Mage, and we really wanted the Mage to be the king of blowing stuff up.
That's right.
And making the Fireball cheaper really helps the Mage be the king of making things go boom. Or Queen, really, since it's Jaina. But
I like Fireball a lot. I mean, I think that card's great. I like Polymorph a lot, but our curve is already starting to slant a little higher. This is our mana curve here at the bottom that shows you how many cards of each cost that you've taken so far, and we don't have anything at 1 or 2 yet. Not that we're not going to get any later.
Yeah.
But if we take Fireball here, we might have to prioritize lower drops later on in the draft.
Yeah, I see that. And Fairy Dragon really is a strong card. Maybe not quite as strong in the arena environment because it's good against direct removal, but there's lots of minions in this. But on the other hand, Fireball.
Yeah.
You know, Fireball.
All right, Fireball
Do I need to say more than that? It's Fireball. We're a mage, it's Fireball.
Oh, well, here's some cheap cards.
And I like all three of them, actually. This is going to be a tough choice.
Well, I definitely feel like we need a minion to play early on in the game. So I would prefer to choose the Murloc or the Worgen here.
Okay, I already played the It's Fireball card, so I guess I can't do that with It's Arcane Missile, so we'll let that one roll.
So the question is, do we want charge or do we want stealth? Now, stealth is great. They're both guaranteed an attack, really, because stealth, you're probably going to live until the next round, and charge, you don't even need to. You can attack right away.
I kind of like the one drop better than the charge minion. Charge minions are great, but since we're already a mage, we already have 1 point of directed damage.
Well, if they have a 3 health minion, though.
And we have 4 mana, it's true. I mean, I lean towards the Infiltrator, but
I lean towards the Murloc.
Okay, so how do we resolve
We can
this?
fight to the death.
Okay. I went with Fireball last time, so make your choice. Murloc.
We don't have to fight to the death. Oh, an epic!
And a Murloc World Leader.
That's true. Well, this is interesting because
Oh my goodness! I don't know what to do with this.
we already have one Murloc, so we could pick another Murloc and try and go that route for this, or we've already got Curator Mage. We could take the Spellbender and we could go more secrets.
Yeah, and I like the secrets. The Spellbender's a little bit too focused, I think.
Interesting.
I mean, it might end up being useless against our opponent.
It's true. I mean, it will soak up any kind of targeted removal and any buffs that they play on their own minions. So I think really it could be useful, but it could. You're right. Be completely useless.
And I'm going to stop for a minute because we actually have a question about. Are we just picking a card rotation, and we can sort of explain how the deck building of it works?
You want to?
Sure. I can jump right in. So the card rotation, these cards are just randomly being put up here.
Right.
And so the first pick would be like, oh, it's a common pick. It's going to randomly throw 3 common cards up there,
That's right.
and we're just going to pick one. So it really could be, we could be seeing tons of specific cards. We could see an all-secret version of this, or 6 fireballs, or we really have no idea what we're going to see. So it's
totally
random.
Each pick, yeah.
And each time we're picking that card, it's going into our deck, and we're going to be picking 30 cards. And once we pick those 30 cards, we don't get to change them from then on out. Those are the 30 cards we're running with.
That's right. Well, this is a tough point, kind of a decision point for our deck. Is do we focus more Murloc? We could take the Faceless Manipulator, but it's better when you have a lot of giant, really worthwhile minions to copy, or if your opponent's playing a lot of giant minions, which we may not see in the.
Yeah, and I lean towards either the Manipulator or the World Leader. I think the Spellbender's out because it's just a little bit too narrow for me, even though we have the Kirin-Tor Mage.
Well, I'll tell you, I would have picked the Spellbender, but I think given we've already taken one Murloc, let's just dive right in.
Okay, Murlocs it is.
And we're gonna see if we can
And
get
we
more
will see.
Murlocs.
Whoa!
I think it pays off. Murloc Tidecaller. We could really start going Murlocs here.
Except that it's funny, just one pick ago, this would have been easy, because I would have looked at Vaporize and gone, Vaporize is awesome, although I know you're a big fan of the Arcane Golem.
Yeah, well, I think the Arcane Golem is great, and even better with some additional combos, but I don't think we're going to see those combos in the arena.
And actually, I can answer a question that we have about rarity gems and rarity. So you can tell the rarity of a card. See these cards, they have a blue gem in the center of them, so that means that they're rare.
Right.
A previous pick, there was an epic pick that had the purple gems in the center of them, and if we ever get a legendary pick, there'll be orange gems, but it's random. We may not get one at all. We have no idea.
So I assume we're taking the Murloc.
I'm okay with. Let's go Murloc.
All right, we're doing a Murloc
but it
deck.
pains me. Oh my goodness.
Wow, we're getting a lot of rares and epics in this deck.
We are pretty lucky.
All right, so well, these are great early drops, and we're running a little light on them. But this is an incredible 6-drop.
And we're going to fill out that early drop selection with all of our Murlocs that we're going to randomly, hopefully get.
That's true.
I hope.
So you want to go with a 6-drop here? Charge Divine
the
Shield
Archer
is
Commander is Charge and Divine Shield. I mean, often you drop it on the table, you run it into a guy, it kills it, and you still have a 4/3 out. Whereas if you just drop a Divine Shield guy on the table, if it's a big one, often the enemy will just assassinate it or polymorph it or something like that, so you're not getting the full value.
Archer Commander it is.
And then we have the Sunwalker to complete it.
Yeah,
Or
another Divine
secret.
Shield minion. The Sunwalker is so good.
And another rare pick. What the heck is going
That's
on
true.
here? This is
Yeah, we're
great.
getting a lot of rare picks.
I thought I'd answer a question.
Sure.
People are asking who we're playing against.
Oh, sure.
And when we play against somebody, it'll be somebody in our quality assurance department, I think. That'll be...
Normally you play against another person who had done the arena and has the same record as you.
Yeah. So if we were 1-1, we'd be matched against somebody else who was 1-1.
And your arena deck is going to last until you lose 3 times. So at that point, you get some rewards based on how well you did, and you can do the arena again.
So back to this very difficult pick.
So I think we just took a 6-drop.
But it's the Sunwalker. I love that guy.
Amazing. He just turns games around.
But the counterspell works well with our Kirin Mage.
Yeah.
And the Knife Juggler works well with all these Murlocs that we're going to get that haven't gotten yet. And it's cheap.
That's
and we do need some. Look at how many low drops we have. Although we're kind of flat right now. We're
I cannot not take the Sunwalker.
click it.
I love the Sunwalker.
Let's do it.
Oh, another mirror entity, an Ascension Shieldmaster, and your opportunity to take that Worgen that you didn't take earlier.
Yeah, but
that I didn't take earlier.
But ever since we took the Kirin Mage, I keep leaning towards secrets.
Sure.
And I don't know if Mirror Entity is the right pick. It probably isn't. But I'm getting excited about that pick.
We're building the theme deck. Let's do it. Hey! We're doing it again. Now, at this point, I do feel like we've got a lot of cards that cost 3 mana.
Yeah.
These are really solid 1 and 2 drops surrounding this mirror entity.
I agree. Yeah, and I could either go with the Archer or the Berserker. One of the things that's exciting about the Berserker, since we are a mage, is it has Enrage on it, which whenever it's damaged, it gets +3 attack.
Right.
We could drop it on the table and do 1 damage to it ourselves.
With our hero power, right.
With our hero power, because that's what the mage does. So the Berserker is even more dangerous in the hands of a mage.
I like it. I like the Archer too because you can combo with your hero power, but to do 2 damage. Speaking of dealing damage to yourself, you could ping the Acolyte of Pain here to deal damage to it and draw a card. We can get another Flame Strike.
It's tough, because for me, I always want to take the extra Flame Strike, and it's looking a little bit like our deck is going towards the high mana curve, so we could shift our deck from being a sort of balanced deck to a let's hold on, wipe the board with Flame Strikes.
That's true.
And we have the Secrets to let us hold on, we have the Flame Strikes to let us hold on, and then we drop the Argent Commanders and Sunwalkers and Kodos and just run them down.
All right, deal. Let's do it. Well, the Brewmaster is very interesting if we had taken like the Elven Archer, for example, we could have passed it back to our hand and played him again. We don't have a lot of Battle Cry guys. We might get some later. The Razorfen Hunter is strong, but also costs 3 mana, and we have several 3 mana cards already. And the Young Dragonhawk is really best when you can buff it and deal even more damage.
Yeah, and we're already talking about not having a super aggressive early deck, just trying to hang on, so the Dragonhawk isn't so good for that. So I could see either the Hunter or the Brewmaster.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we should take maybe the Brewmaster.
Yeah, because you were just complaining about how many 3-drops we had.
Yes,
so I don't know if we want to add another 3-drop there.
Speaking of 3-drops, either we're taking one or we're taking the Angry Chicken.
He's so angry.
Well, the problem with Angry Chicken in a mage deck is there's not a great way to give him enough health that he could possibly be enraged.
But his anger is so great that it might overcome that difficulty. You know what? Let's not take the Angry Chicken. I maybe was going out on a limb there.
So the Imp Master, we don't have a lot of good combos with him. The
Mind Control Tech is interesting because if we are going for we're going to just hang on early game and wait for the late game, then the Mind Control Tech is great because if they get a bunch of minions out, we drop this and might be able to turn it around even on turn 3.
Yeah, I like that. We've got a lot of 3-drops, but now we have one more. Speaking of 3-drops, here's some more of them. Or we can take the Mana Worm.
I'm thinking the Mana Worm right now because a 1/3 on turn 1 is great for hanging on for a couple of turns and just making it so that the game doesn't advance, so we have time to get to our late game.
And I like to imagine how my deck might play out when I'm doing the arena, and I can imagine Mana Worm turn 1, I don't know, some 2-drop, and then turn 3 I go Kirin Mage, who makes my secrets free. I play 1, it buffs the Mana Worm. So I'm already planning out these moves in my head. I think Mana Worm fits in well with this
let's
deck.
do it. And there's another question.
Yeah.
If you want to jump on how does rarity work, the sort of the balance of rarity? Because we mentioned that we are getting more rares, and we were surprised by that.
It's totally random. There are some slots in your deck that are going to at least be a rare. Like the first card you pick is going to at least be a rare. And there's others that are also going to at least be rare. But any slot could kind of upgrade to be an epic or a legendary, and the rare slots can also upgrade to be an epic or a legendary. But there is some randomness, and it's not necessarily going to be a better deck if you have more legendaries or epics or rares. Some of the commons are incredible. I think Flame Strike, and here we go, Fireball.
Yeah, if I had a deck with 5 or 6 fireballs in it, which could happen because it randomly could happen, that would be a pretty strong deck. And we certainly, internally in some of our play, we had various feedback that, oh, I built this great legendary arena deck, or some others was, yeah, I built a legendary deck in arena, and because the legendaries are so specific, it didn't end up being all that strong, and the common deck with a few rares in it ended up being a stronger deck.
Here's a choice. If we're building the later game deck, Shield Bearer helps us get there.
I couldn't agree more, except I want to counter with Fireball. I mean, look at that guy. He's blowing somebody up. It's awesome.
That's a fried gnome in that art, if I'm not mistaken.
And I'm torn, and we don't have a lot of 4-drops, and I agree the 1-drop might be better, although Fireball at 4 mana really can turn the game around.
Let's just commit fireballs all day. Fireball. Okay. In this case, I don't want to take a third fireball only because one of my favorite arena cards for a mage deck is in this pool, and that's Raging Worgen.
While I think the Raging Worgen is so good, I do also have to say Fireball. No. You're totally right.
The Mogushan Warden, actually, if we're going to keep going a longer deck, might be the best choice. But Raging Worgen, you play him the next turn, you use your Fire Blast on him. Now he's 4 attack and Wind Fury. I mean, he's awesome.
It is, but only if you're playing in a pretty aggressive deck.
That's true.
And we're not going super aggressive, other than say our 3 Murlocs.
We got the Amani Berserker and the Mana Worm. I think we could get away with it.
If you want to try it because it's your favorite card, I just want you to know in the future,
I
reserve the right to say Fireball.
All right. We'll see if we get any more of those. Hey, now, okay, so this is the Ethereal Arcanist is great the more secrets you had, and if we hadn't taken those Murlocs early on, he'd be amazing right now. We do have 2 secrets still. He might be worth it.
And on the other hand, we could just take a secret. And
true.
Actually, the Gadgets and Auctioneer is amazing in some decks. It's just we don't have enough spells, I think, to really support the full power of the Auctioneer.
It's true, yeah, we're a little bit lighter.
We have some, and our spells are kind of expensive. With the Auctioneer, you don't want to have a spell-heavy deck.
That's true.
So I think we do go with the Arcanist or Vaporize.
I think we go with the Arcanist.
He's super fun. And he can become, well, let's look at what our secrets are. Our secrets are
they're just 2 mirror entities.
Mirror entities.
So they're not going to stick around too long.
So really, to make the Arcanist work, we need to play the Arcanist and the mirror entity.
We should have taken either Counterspell or Spellbender.
So it means it's a 7 cost, really, to get him out as a 5/5.
Right.
And we have to have both cards.
So you'd rather take Vaporize? Is what you're saying?
I could go either. The Arcanist is more fun. I think the Vaporize is probably a better card.
The second we take Arcanist, we're going to see a secret after this.
Okay, Arcanist. We've got to take it then, so we can see that next secret.
Oh, it wasn't the secret. Hey, these are good cards here. I actually like all 3 of these for different reasons. Leper Gnome is a really good early card if you're going to try and rush him down.
Yeah, but
if not, I think he's still pretty good.
He's pretty good, although we're backing away from that a little bit.
Frostbolt is just an incredible spell. And then Nightblade, I like a lot just because of how much he does. He's a 4/4 and he deals 3 to the enemy hero. So if they manage to do a lot of damage and they put up a guy with taunt or something, you could still deal that last bit of damage.
And we're trying to build a late game deck, and he's a 5-drop. And even though our plan is to have a late game deck, we don't actually have as many of the late game hitters as I think I'd like to have. So I kind of lean towards the Nightblade, even though the Frostbolt's more fun.
Well, here's a secret that might stick around for a while.
At least until they attack.
This is a very ice-themed choice.
I like it. I like how this worked out. It's a neutral minion, which is a Frost Elemental, and 2 Mage cards, which are Frost.
Yeah. So Water Elemental is great, and I mean just solid. 3/6 for 4 is already good. His power is great, but given that we got the Kirin Mage and the Arcanist, I want to take the Ice Barrier.
Okay. Again, if we see Fireball again, it's Fireball.
It's also good in our theme to try and get towards the later game to get our Flame Strikes online. It gives us a little bit more staying power.
And it's also our theme of having as many 3-drops as possible, so it works with that theme as well. I wanted to answer a quick question.
Sure.
We have a question about, do we keep our arena pools each time you play arena, or is it different time you each play arena?
So your deck you use until you lose 3 times. But every time you do the arena, you're going to see 30 different choices. All the cards are going to be totally different.
Yeah, and you're playing against just everybody else who's playing arena at that specific
Right.
time. So that's sort of the pool of players, and the pool of cards is specific until you lose 3 times. And then once you lose 3 times or retire it, then you're rewarded depending on how well you did.
Right. And given that we've taken Youthful Brewmaster, I want to take the Novice Engineer here, because you could bounce him and play him again and get an extra card.
I really like the Novice Engineer because it's a card that you drop for 2. The enemy often has removal,
Yep.
but they just don't want to use removal on the Novice Engineer,
Right,
and so you
exactly.
get some hits in without them dealing with it.
This is interesting. Well, this guy's that big hitter you were looking for, the Frost Elemental.
I'm kind of leaning towards that. If we had ended up going with the Gadgetzan Auctioneer, I probably would have gone with the Arcane Intellect to
Sure.
combo it there. But I think we don't have enough big hitters
All
for
right.
our late game
Frost
deck.
Elemental. Speaking of late game, maybe Polymorph here? Maybe Frost Nova?
Maybe Fairy Dragon
Maybe
even?
fair. I think Polymorph is the right choice here. We could use some targeted removal just in case we see something giant on the
Okay,
other side.
and it's fun. You turn people into sheep. What could be? Come on.
So
Come on.
What do you mean? Come on! What
Come
are you
on.
commoning? The Flame Strike or the Murloc?
The flame. Oh, well, it is a Murloc though.
We've got some Murloc action already in this deck. He's a great Murloc.
But we could have 3 Flame Strikes in this deck.
That's true. Is that good or bad though?
I don't know, but it would be 3 of them.
I think we should play it safe here. Take the Bluegill Warrior. He combos well with our Murlocs, and he's good in every phase of the game. I think.
Okay, I agree. It's probably the better choice.
Well, I'm gonna go out here and say I think Stormpike Commando is the best choice in this.
That's
trio.
excellent, because I was going to say I would either go with the Owl or the Snapjaw. So we have perfect disagreement on this
he's
topic.
the highest cost minion, and we're going for that kind of late game strategy.
But he doesn't last very long. He goes out there, he almost never even gets to swing.
Well, but he at least gets to use his battle cry to deal 2 damage, so he always has an effect on the game. Maybe not a huge effect.
We are light on 5-drops. I think that for the people who are into this, the community would probably tell us to go with the Owl. I know that the
yeah, he's popular, sure.
and he is good removal, but we do have a lot of high-end removal already.
Sure, no,
and I like the Snapjaw also because he's hard to get rid of.
Sure.
So he lets you sort of delay the game.
We'll take the Owl. You're probably right. The Owl's probably best. Well, hey, actually, if we're going to build a late game deck, Priestess of Elune just works amazing in that type of deck.
I totally agree.
Because sometimes you kind of stumble into the late game, pretty low health, he becomes a big hitter and gets you kind of above water.
And I want to tell you that it pains me to agree with you 100% on this, but I'm going to. We got a question.
Oh, yeah.
Can you get legendaries when you're participating in the arena?
They are rarer than epics and rares, so they don't come up often, but absolutely you could get...
Yeah, you could get more than
bunch of
1 or more than
legendaries,
2
yeah.
or whatever. It's pretty unlikely, but it is possible.
I did have a deck with 3 legendaries in it.
You are the lucky one.
I went 0-3 with that deck. I did not do very well.
Okay. You are the lucky one who's a terrible player.
So here, Mirror Image works great with a deck that wants to stall out and do things later in the game.
It does, except, and I would agree with you, except that Mad Bomber is one of the best early game, like, deal with their cheap creature cards that is out there.
If they go turn 1 dude, you go turn 2 Mad Bomber, and you have a huge chance of killing that guy with 3 hits.
And then you have a 3/2 out already that they have to deal. So for me, delaying the game, my money's on the Mad Bomber.
All right, we'll do the Mad Bomber. He's fun.
And, oh yeah, it was only a 2-drop, so we didn't.
Oh, this is tough.
So which
Murloc?
ones are you thinking? What are you torn between?
The Blizzard and the Murloc.
Okay, that's exactly what I'm torn between, and I'm going to stop doing that because it's paining me to agree with you, but it's the Blizzard and the Murloc
Blizzard
all the
is
way.
so good for our deck because especially because we could Blizzard maybe turn 6 if we're in danger, and then follow up with the Flame Strike turn 7.
Yeah, and I was going to look at Blizzard and say, and we're pretty light on 5-drops, but then I looked at the Murloc and went, we're pretty light on 1-drops, and it's actually rougher to be light on 1-drops than 5-drops. Although the Murloc, if he's our first 1-drop, he often can be not a great Murloc until you get that synergy going. So I lean towards the Blizzard.
Yeah, the Blizzard is so strong in this deck. And that was our last choice. So this is our full arena deck now over here on the right side. If there's any other questions that you guys have, we can answer them quickly. I think we answered them while we were doing the run, though. So
absolutely.
Let's just jump right in and start playing. this is your key here, and it starts out as a novice key. And every game that we win, the key is going to upgrade and get turn into a better key for every win. So at the end of the arena, when you lose 3 times, you'll use that key to unlock a chest and get better rewards based on the key that you have.
And at the end of our run today, we are definitely going to be unlocking a chest, so we'll talk more about the reward system and all that when we get to that point.
So I hit play. We're going to match against somebody else who's been playing the arena. This is somebody in our quality assurance team who's waiting for us to queue. Do you have any predictions for our deck?
I am worried that we didn't end up with enough early heat. And so we really need to... and my fears were unfounded because those are 2 great early draws for this. I think we lose the Priestess of Elune because it's too expensive. It's a late game.
We're going to draw.
We have a pair of 2-drops. I was worried about us not being able to delay until the right point. We're playing against a Paladin.
Got a trio of 2-drops.
And a 3-drop. And the 3-drop is great for delaying the game. It's an ice barrier. So we're playing against a Paladin. So the Paladins, if they're not doing anything, they're going to constantly bring out their 1/1s and buffing them. But I think the Mad Bomber is a great counter to some of that early game.
Well, here's something fun. I think the right play here is the Amani Berserker. Now, he's got Enrage. If I play the Mad Bomber next turn, as long as all 3 of his...
Don't hit him. If one hits him, we can do a ton of damage. We can actually go on the offense. I would not have predicted that we would be the ones going on the offense in the early game.
Well, if we can get some early game offense, that's huge because we have such a good late game. Well, here's the Novice Engineer.
And that's actually great for us because we run the Berserker into it. And
I think we still Mad Bomb.
I don't know.
Imagine, if you will, 2 bombs to the Novice Engineer, 1 to the Berserker.
Or imagine, if you will, 3 bombs straight to our face. Because that could totally happen too.
Well, I kind of want to do this before we attack because it could give us the information we need about who to attack. Maybe you're right. Maybe I should just attack right here.
Because if we attack, we're going to have 2 guys on the table. He's not going to have any. He's still 1 mana away from being able to consecrate away.
Fine.
So he has to use some direct damage to deal with it. We're getting card advantage.
I like to play a little more risky. Hey, we got a couple secrets now. That mirror entities.
That's actually going to be good because now that we're going to have the heat, okay, he's going to use that to exchange, which is great, which still gives us damage on the table.
Yeah. Yeah, we still got a dude.
And the Kodo, I really like just drawing the Kodo because the Kodo is very likely to be able to
whatever he
cover
plays
us.
Next, we might be able to eat that. All right. I kind of want to play Mirror Entity at this point.
I kind of do too. Not because it's the perfect play. Normally you'd wait till later, but because the Mad Bomber doesn't feel like a good play.
Right.
Ice Barrier doesn't feel like the right play. There's nothing to silence.
But we've got the advantage here. We have the minion. So whatever he plays, we'll have the same one. It copies that minion, and then we'll be able to handle it, hopefully.
And good, using the coin to get extra. And fantastic.
All right, well,
we'll take a knight.
We have a Stormwind Knight. Thank you for our Stormwind Knight.
For the king.
And next turn, what is the Kodo going to do?
Oh, that's right. Perfect. This is great.
The Kodo is going to eat
just
that
hit
knight.
5 mana. Kodo comes out.
And we'll hope that his secret isn't revive, and it was bringing it back as a 2/1.
Well, it could be Repentance here. Oh, yeah. He comes back. Well,
but we can eat it with our knight now.
Yeah.
So it leaves us with a 3/5 and a 2/3. We're out of Consecrate range. So if he tries to play Consecrate to deal 2 damage to all of our guys, which is very common with Paladins, we're out of that range. And 3 and 5 health is great.
There's that Oasis Snapjaw you wanted to take.
Yeah, well, if we lose to the Oasis Snapjaw, I might, make fun of us.
I think the Snapjaw's much better in the Paladin deck than in the Mage deck, because you can buff it.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Well,
Mark of Kings or...
We could Fireball it and then finish it off. I don't know how worried you are about the Oasis Snapjaw. If he gets Blessing of Kings, that could be pretty difficult for us. We don't have a polymorph or anything.
Yeah, really, again, the problem is...
We could silence it, though.
We could silence it, so we might bring out the War Leader and put up a secret, maybe? I don't know.
Let's start with let's see if we can figure out what the secret is. It's not eye for an eye. Let's do that. Let's put some pressure on. We're still going to be out of range of his...
It's a little sad to bring out the War Leader without any Murlocs out, but our dreams of a Murloc deck sort of were shattered.
Well, we could draw one of those charge Murlocs.
Oh, if we drew the charge Murloc, we're in great shape.
Yeah.
But now he's getting enough mana so he could really start to do interesting combos to us. So I'm less sure about our table remaining secure at this point.
Well, he's definitely worried about that Murloc. Oh, and he plays Light's Justice. That'll let him attack for 1.
But we get the 3 damage. We get 3 damage on him out of it. So
I'd rather have the Murloc War Leader.
I would too.
Hey, there's that Worgen Infiltrator. He's taking all the cards that we didn't want to take.
It's almost like he said, I really want you to play a Blizzard next turn. I'd like to set up my board so Blizzard is the next best play.
Hey, look at that. This is just perfect. All right, let's Blizzard away these guys. Goodbye. Oh, and there's that secret. Is it another one of those redemptions?
Yeah.
Oh, it's that stealth guy.
No, that was a pretty good draw for him.
Well, we could Mad Bomber.
We could Mad Bomber. We can't then follow up with the direct damage that we'd like to follow up with.
You mean
because we can't ping it or anything like that. The other option is we could attack with the Kodo and then bounce it back to our hand, so we have another, destroy.
We could do that next turn, though. I think Mad Bomber, just the chance of killing this Worgen Infiltrator is so enticing.
You play crazy, but let's play crazy, okay?
All right, Mad Bomber, here we go. Big money. Oh, that's good. That's not good.
And that
worked out okay.
How did that work out okay?
Well, we have a 3-2.
Yeah, but he's going to kill it anyway.
You want to finish off this guy with the Kodo?
And if we do that, we should probably do that.
He can't attack next turn anyway with that guy.
Yeah, let's go for the face.
He's frozen.
And we have a fireball in hand, so even though it says his health is 15 life, it actually is a lot more like 9, or in fact like 8, because we can use our hero power. So.
Oh yeah, actually, if he doesn't kill all 3 of these guys, we win next turn.
Or put out taunt guys.
Or heal himself.
So we have a question about what's the maximum number of wins that you can get. And go ahead.
Your key keeps upgrading through all the different metals. Secret!
I just had to say that so you could do your traditional cry of secret. Anyway, back to... and that's why we kept the Iron Beak Owl.
Oh, perfect!
And do we have the mana? We have 8 mana. That's exactly game. So unless his...
Depends on what his secret is here, right?
Okay, well, let's
Silence!
And then, let's come on.
Oh,
no.
What is this? No!
You should have attacked.
Oh, no!
You attacked with the wrong guy. You should have expected Noble Sacrifice and gone in with the Knight.
This is tragic.
That is what we call a misplay.
Oh, bummer. Well, I still feel pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, I do too. And we don't go for the face, but do we have enough mana? We could bounce the owl. We could bounce the Kodo.
Can play him again though.
Actually, how much does the knight? Is the knight 4 or 5? 4. We could bounce the knight, play him again, and attack him with him again because he has charge. And that's great because really we just need to get his life down to 7?
Yeah.
Once we get his life down to 7, we win.
All right, let's do it. We're doing it. Playing the knight again. I think this was his knight that we copied. Thanks for the knight.
And
Paladin.
We now have a technical question.
Oh, we didn't answer the last question.
Oh, we didn't? Oops, we should pay attention.
Wins? You can every win you get, you upgrade your key until you hit the Grandmaster key. And right now, I think that's 9 wins.
And it's at 9 wins right now. We're still playing without, but it's at 9 wins right now. And specifically, once you get up to a certain number of wins, you're guaranteed to get enough gold so you can keep playing and playing and playing, going infinite, as it were.
Yeah. Oh no, he gave 2 of his guys taunt. He doesn't know that we have Fireball, though.
Yes.
And so that doesn't care about taunt at all.
So all we need to do is deal 1 more damage to him, and it's over.
Unless he heals. If he heals, then we're really we're in a bad place.
But the question was that I was going to ask you, because I don't even know the answer because it's a technical question, is if Resurrection gets played and a bunch of guys died at the same time, who gets brought back?
I believe it's the guy that was played first. Or maybe it was the guy that plays last. I can't remember. But
so a very solid answer from the design team.
We'll look that up.
We can definitely look it up.
Well, okay, so this is tricky. I almost want to just run in here and finish him off with my hero power, even though, no, that's silly. We need to get him into range.
No, if we do that and finish him off with the hero power, we can use the knight. Oh wait, no, the knight already attacked. You're right. We should get him into range. We should just blast him. We can drop the Kirin Tor Mage, which makes our mirror entity free.
And we have enough mana to play Fireball.
I don't want to do it, though.
But we shouldn't, because then he knows he needs to heal.
Yes.
So we're going to save it. We'll keep it between us.
Yeah.
And millions of people on the internet.
Yeah. Can we trust you all to keep a secret? Okay.
All right, don't heal. Don't heal.
Yeah, the Paladin, there are a lot of healing spells for the Paladin, though.
That's right, you got to lay on hands. Lay on hands would be crushing.
Even a voodoo...
Sarah.
And
thank you!
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
Well,
That's wonderful.
all I cared about is they didn't heal himself at this, or use some other card to get armor. Or
As far as winning goes, I agree. But as far as awesome goes, getting a Sarah really fit the bill.
and we have enough mana to polymorph Izzy Sarah.
Shouldn't we just
before-
polymorph?
It doesn't matter. We've won. I just want to style him a little bit.
Okay.
Oh yeah! And now thanks to our 4-mana fireball, skadoosh! Boom!
That's right. Okay, it worked out great.
Congratulations, first game in the pocket. Excellent. Victory. All right. Let's get any questions we want to answer before we jump into the
Sure,
game.
we can answer. What is a dream card?
Oh, yeah, Sarah gives you dream cards. There's a special set of cards only for Sarah that she adds to your hand once every turn.
Yeah, so you'll get one of those cards randomly, so even you don't know what they are.
Right.
But they are pretty awesome.
Yeah, they're good. They're for sure. They're much better than normal cards. Somebody said, when does the arena stop? Well, you can see here, there's 3 loss markers, and every time you lose a game, you'll get a big red X in that box. When you get your 3rd loss, that's when the arena ends. You'll get a prize based on the key that you ended up with.
Or you could retire early, but why would you? Because
Right.
you're just saying,
Yeah, you're just getting-
I don't want more rewards.
Right, exactly.
Who says that?
How
How many cards can you choose from in the arena?
Well, there's we showed this a little bit earlier, but there's 3 cards up at a time, and you can choose one of those 3 cards.
And it's all of the cards are included. So all of the basic cards, all of the expert cards,
right.
any of those cards are cards that you could get during the run.
All right, let's try a second game here. I feel good about this deck. After our first win, I feel like...
Now that we're confident, this is when we see like 3 5-drops in our starting hand, and we mulligan them and get more 5-drops.
Sure. Oh, we're playing against a warrior, Garrosh. Oh, where's our hand? Tragedy has struck. That's what we get for playing with our newest development build. I might have to concede out here and try again.
Yeah, well, we can answer questions while we're
Sure.
trying to deal with.
The concede is not working. Maybe our server went down. That's probably what happened.
Okay.
No.
So we have a question. Can you quit the
I knew
arena?
Garrosh would do this to us.
Yeah. Well, Garrosh is like that. He's not a nice guy. Not particularly friendly.
All
with
right,
games,
go ahead and answer
but-
questions. I'm gonna
yeah.
fix this.
So, so one of the questions is, can you quit the arena and come back where you left off? And that's actually a really important question. In that, I could go into the arena, I could pick my hero and choose 3 cards, and then I could leave for a week, and then I could come back and I could choose the rest of the cards, or I could play 1 match and I could come back a couple days later. So you can quit at any time as long as you don't quit in the middle of a game where you have to concede. You can quit at any time and just come back and play, either if you're picking your cards or playing the game.
We fixed the problem, and we're back in the queue. So hopefully,
We appear to have fixed the problem.
well, we at least got out of that horrible mess Garrosh put us into.
Garrosh is just like that.
Garrosh is such a jerk.
On the other hand, the warrior in Hearthstone is awesome. One of my favorite. Well, go ahead.
We didn't get to see a lot of Murloc action that last time. I think we may have taken too few Murlocs.
Oh, way too few Murlocs. But I felt like that in some ways we got Murloc action in that we put the war leader out there, and our opponent was worried about the war leader being something that they would be facing lots of Murlocs with.
Sure.
So they wasted some of their juice taking out the Murloc war leader instead of taking out some of our other stuff.
This is a very appropriate, well-timed question. Does crashing or disconnecting count as a loss? And the answer to that is that we are working on the ability to reconnect after you've disconnected. It's not working in our current development build, so it counted as a loss for me. But yeah, eventually that's something we'd like to have ready for the game. I think our opponent, Garrosh, may have had the same problem, and he's getting back in and queuing again for another game.
Yep, we can hope. Although Garrosh again, I don't know. I mean, we can hope that he's coming back in, but
You can't
you
count
just
on
don't
that
want to
guy.
hang out with
You
him.
can't count on that
You don't
guy.
want to go out and, hang out with him.
Here's another question. Are the heroes you choose at the start of the arena random?
And they absolutely are. So of the 9 heroes, it's going to be 3 of those 9 heroes chosen at random, and then you just pick the one you want, or in a lot of cases, I think you'll choose to avoid picking the one you don't
That's
like
right,
to play.
yeah.
So, if you're angry at Garrosh or don't like playing the warrior style or whatever it is, you just skip that one.
All right, I'm going to try and chat with our homies in QA. See if I can get one of them to queue here.
So we're trying. What else can we talk about? What else do we got going on? Okay.
I'm still working on it.
We are still having difficulties. Maybe drop all the way out, perhaps, and try dropping back in.
Yeah, I'll cancel and try this again.
Yep, sorry about these technical difficulties.
All right, I'm back in the queue, hopefully for the last time.
Yep.
Here's the question. Is that a bottle of Jack Daniels on the desk lamp? I believe it is a Jack Daniels desk lamp.
Yes.
All right, we've got confirmation that they've entered the queue again here. Hopefully, we'll find a match quickly. So do you want to talk about the rewards at all?
Sure, we could talk about the rewards.
Sure.
I mean, we're a little early, but that's cool. I like it. So how the rewards work is when you finish a arena run, depending on the number of wins you've got, you're going to get some random rewards based on how far you got.
Right. And you take the key and you'll plunge it into the chest and unlock it, and no matter what, you get a pack of cards.
Absolutely.
And then you get, there's 5 packages that kind of come up, and it feels a little bit like the pack opening experience, where you have to kind of open each little package to see what you get, and they're all a little bit random.
Yeah, so you're likely to get, oh, I got a pack of cards, oh, I got some arcane dust, oh, I got some gold, ooh, I got a golden card. Any of those things could happen, and you just don't know. One of the things that excites us about the reward scheme for Arena is we love the pack opening system. It's just fun to open packs.
Right.
And we wanted to have something that felt as exciting for the end of an Arena run.
Yeah. Here we are alone on our server. Nobody else is online. So
Have you dropped all the way out? I mean,
I dropped out as far as I'm capable of dropping out.
okay.
We could, at this point, say, you know, we're not going to be able to find a match. We could try for another minute or so, or we could just show off the oh, look, these come back online. We could try one more time here. I see.
Server issues.
They are restarting the server.
And now we are showing you why that we are not out yet.
We got some work to do before beta. Hopefully not too much work, but we'll get there eventually. All right, looks like the game server is restarted. So
Well, you mentioned eventually. It's actually, we're going to get there. We're still on target.
yeah, we're still coming out. It'll be this summer. Oh, look.
Awesome.
Glorious. We're back in. Hopefully we'll see a hand of cards here. Oh, we're playing against a rogue this time. We're all good. Crisis averted. Oh, and look, we've got some Murloc action.
Which would be good, except against a rogue that has the dagger that can do 1 damage. It's not as strong, especially
true.
that 2/1 charge guy, and we're going second.
That is true. Well, the Murloc Tidecaller at least will withstand 1 stab.
Yep, so we'll see what we got. Maybe because of this, we save the Bluegill Warrior till it can come out and deal 2 damage to an enemy minion and just die directly.
All right, here we go. It's our turn. He didn't play any cards in his first turn.
We're going second, so we got the coin.
Damn,
I like it. I like it, because it's a 1/2. He's probably not going to want to go, oh, I'll stab it for 1 point of damage. It
Sure.
doesn't feel super
and if he
efficient.
does, which it looks like he might, then we're going to play that 2/1 charge guy, probably, and
And he'll have 2/1 cost
right,
guys
you can't
out
kill
there.
them both. All right, so let's see.
Yeah.
Murloc?
That sounds good.
All right, let's do
And
it.
put out the Murloc and hit him. And actually, one thing you can see is that we have the new Valera portrait up there,
Oh, right,
because-
we haven't showed that off yet.
Yeah, we haven't.
This is the new art for the rogue, the rogue hero, Valera. See if I can show it off a little bigger there. Painted by Glenn Rain.
Uh-oh. And this is where we lose everything.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But that's okay, because, I mean, really our game plan, not that it seems to work out that way, but our game plan is to delay until the late game.
That's true.
And get those.
Oh! If
And-
only he hadn't killed all of our Murlocs last turn. We just drew the Murloc War Leader.
And because all our Murlocs are down, I'm thinking that might be the right play, because
Yeah, might as well.
we could drop the Berserker, which is the other option, but
Sure.
I don't think that's as good as the War Leader.
Yeah, let's just do this guy. We're unlikely to see more Murlocs. We have one more in here. I
Yeah,
think.
and maybe we'll get Valera to feel like there's the threat on the table. Ooh,
Yeah.
we built a Murloc
Yeah.
deck. I better destroy that thing.
All she's seen are...
Yeah, and there we go. That's exactly what we're seeing. I love pulling an Eviscerate to deal with the War Leader, which was not actually a threat, just looked like a threat.
Yeah, so all she's seen so far are Murlocs. Nothing else. So we've
Yeah, so let's just... and there we
Successfully-
go. We now have our late game strategy. It just came into play.
we could coin this turn to play Mirror Entity and the Berserker.
And we just had a question,
Yeah.
just to jump out, a question about whether if an opponent disconnects and doesn't come back, do you win?
You do win at that
Yeah.
point, yes. Yeah, I'm going to drop the coin here, and just so I can get a couple things going this turn. We're going to get Berserker out and the Mirror Entity. Hopefully he'll play something...
Hopefully a 5-drop will hit the table,
exactly.
and then
not
we'll
a-
see some goodness.
Not another Wisp.
Yeah, we have some good late game cards there, although we have some card disadvantage going on.
That's true. Well, a Flame Strike could make up for all that.
Yeah, it evens the board, that's for sure.
Mirror's coming in to weaken our
And then
Berserker.
the Wisp is going to come in to polish off the Berserker.
the Wisp. And he's already spent some mana, so...
Your favorite card.
Oh, this is glorious.
Oh, and no mana?
He can't do anything about it now because he's already spent all his mana.
Yep.
He's already attacked with the
And
Wisp.
we go in, we hit the Dwarf, we have Wind Fury now, we go in, we hit...
Oh, this is perfect. Yeah, so right away, I'm going to enrage like that, and then...
We clear the board,
So
and then I think we
good.
put out the Silver Moon Guardian,
Let's do it.
which is a pretty good threat.
We've turned it around. Mirror Entity for the win.
So we're asking, or the folks are asking, can you play in a private arena directly with a friend or challenge friends directly? And, oh, I didn't like to see that.
That's a bummer.
But in arena mode, you cannot challenge friends directly. You can play friends directly, of course, in a normal match, but
Sure.
arena, it's going to randomly match you.
All right, well, there's that other Murloc. I think at this point, if I play this guy, he's just going to get eaten by that Spellbreaker.
Yeah, that doesn't feel so
I think we
compelling.
just charge in, use our
and hero power and
Yeah.
clear the field, yeah. Yeah, so that was a great use of that Murloc. I totally agree.
See? I knew I picked right on that choice. Well, we've got an empty board here, so next turn we'll be able to Flame Strike.
Wasn't it the choice a Murloc or another Flame Strike?
I
I think I would rather have 2 Flame Strikes in my
Really?
hand.
I think he's got nothing to Flame Strike right now.
I know, that's...
And this is perfect, because if we didn't have that Murloc, he'd have that 4/3 still.
This, however, is... Well, actually, both of these are good. Actually, you're right, that's probably better. We heal up some, and the Argent Commander is a better surprise card
That's
to,
right.
to come out, kill one of his minions instantly without being able to
It's
respond
got
to
charge
it.
and Divine Shield, so it can attack immediately. If we hadn't had that Murloc, there's no way this guy would be surviving right now, because he'd still have that 4/3. And we'd be sitting on 2 Flame Strikes.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. He's choosing to attack directly into...
He's got to have 3 damage somehow.
He must. That's still... Oh, he's using that to take enough damage to be able to play the Molten Giant. Well, that's tricky. And then another Eviscerate.
'cause
He had a lot of Eviscerates.
So the Molten Giant, it costs less the more damage you've taken. So Valera wanted to take some damage. And now we don't have a good response to this.
Well,
'cause-
so he's going to hit us 3 times and we lose. We could try and rush him down and do more damage than he can deal to us with the Argent Commander, maybe? Because we hit him 4 times.
you know what? It'll lead to a photo finish. And we
draw-
get to do 5 damage this turn.
Right.
And we are a mage. So...
We could draw one of those fireballs that you like so much.
And the other thing is that our opponent has to be thinking, oh wait, I'm in a race. We wouldn't have challenged them to a race unless we had like a Pyroblast or a Fireball or
Right.
something in our hand. So now our opponent has to be thinking about this very differently and thinking, oh, instead of just hitting us with a Molten Giant, maybe has to trade down and try to take out the Argent Commander.
Right. And he's doing that.
Which he's doing that, that's great.
10 damage soaked up by Divine Shield. And another Eviscerate. Wow, it's like 4 Eviscerates so far. It's like a Eviscerate deck. And then he's got Head Crack. Well, that's...
Okay.
I'm not super worried about really anything but the...
All we need is a little bit more damage to be able to use Flame Strike to wipe the whole board. If we have 2 more points of damage somehow.
I'd love to see a Blizzard right here. That would make me thumbs up a lot. Not a Blizzard. Well, I feel like we still have to Flame Strike. And then maybe do 1 damage here, and then next turn finish him off.
Yeah, it does reduce the damage by a lot. I agree.
Not a lot of other choices here. We're still going to take 10 damage from that Molten Giant. And hopefully he doesn't heal him or something. He's a rogue, so it's not likely.
Well, but he could have minions that heal him.
Yeah.
And rogues have some pretty good bursts, so...
Ooh! Ah!
Yeah.
10 damage.
Down to 15.
We're still above him. Oh! Oh! Shadow Step. That's the new version of Shadow Step 2 that makes the guy cost
2 less.
2 less when you bounce him.
and a head crack.
Yeah, so that's our new shadow step there. Well, that's terrible.
Okay, this is not looking good.
Well, now we really need Blizzard.
We need him to put out 2 more minions
And then
use the mind control tech. I think we should rely
He doesn't have
upon
any
that
cards
plan.
in his hand. I was going to play 2 minions.
I know, it's not a good plan. But I'm not seeing a lot of other good plans that we got. We have a polymorph in there. We took a polymorph, I think.
That's true.
Oh, there we go.
That's pretty good. We can freeze that giant. He can't attack next turn. And then I think we just got to get out this guy and start.
Yeah, and hopefully he'll trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good to me.
If we had a secret, that would be a 5/5. That'd be much better. Okay, we're alive for another turn. He's got 11. We're at 10. What do we need to draw here? We need him to ignore our 5/5 and then draw a fireball or something? He's ignoring the 5/5. Hopefully not because he can... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he had to do that, I think.
What's he going to do? But no!
Silence. We got silence. Okay, we can deal with that.
We're seeing that issue where the minion appears in the hand over there.
Okay.
I just fixed that bug yesterday.
Awesome.
All right, well, now it's looking especially dire. Mirror entity.
Not gonna help us.
Not going to help, unless he like plays a taunt minion or something. And
I think that's game.
yeah, there's nothing we can do. Oh, I have to attack the taunt minion.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have pinged it first. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so... it doesn't matter. We've lost. We've lost. Oh, I could have silenced it.
Yes, you
Still-
could have.
Still, at this point, we've lost so badly that it didn't matter what we did. Well done, Entornimus, whoever you are.
And I think
Valera.
we're almost out of time, so this is going to be our last game.
Yep. Well, only one win, so we'll see the tier, the next. Oh, he was worried about vaporize. Just see him attack first with that Sunwalker.
Yep.
So we should
Yep.
take that vaporize. Terrible result here for.
Hey, no, well, we won one.
I guess that's true.
And let's go to our rewards.
All right. So this is what the rewards look like. We you have a couple questions. Oh, we can.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the questions.
Let's go to the rewards.
All right. So here we go. I'm gonna hit retire.
Normally you wouldn't hit retire. We're only hitting retire because we want to show you what the rewards look like.
Right.
You'd play through to get as many wins as you could.
All right. Here we go. Retire. All right. So that key lights up.
Okay, what do we get?
And this would change based on the level of the key.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you got.
So if we got, we're pretty unlikely to get golden cards or big amounts of money because we didn't do so well.
Right.
But
Here we go. 5 gold. 5 gold. 5 gold. That sets a theme. 10 arcane dust. And a pack.
okay,
wasn't a great result.
Yeah, that wasn't awesome.
There's some
but
randomness here. That
we got a
determines-
pack so we could open that. So there's something there.
Exactly. All right. Well, that ends our arena run. And that ends our live stream. Thank you very much. So we have a couple questions about why that was the last game. Normally, your arena run would end after 3 games, after 3 losses. You could win as many games as you can, but once you lose your 3rd game, you get rewards for that.
Yeah,
that
yeah. And if we had an extra hour to play or 2, or
Right,
because
yeah.
we'd undoubtedly win all of our remaining games.
But once,
we could have
once
shown
you
it to
lose
you.
3 times, that's the end of your arena deck. You can run the arena again, try a new deck. But you can retire if you don't like your deck, or I don't know, you don't think you're going to win any more games. But and someone's asking if we can open the pack. Let's do it. Why don't we open the pack?
Okay.
Why not? We got 2 minutes left. Here we go. We're opening the pack. Are you guys on the feed? Oh, great.
Okay. You got to do the mouse over thing
Oh,
first.
there's gonna be a
okay,
rare
A
there.
rare. 2
Oh, another
rares.
rare.
Okay, I like it.
Oh, it's gonna be a legendary. That's a good
Okay.
pack.
Yeah, you got to open the non-rares first.
All right, here we go.
What do we got? What do we got?
Crazed
Oh,
Alchemist.
my favorite
Yeah.
card,
And then Secret Keeper.
which would have been good in that. And
Karen Golden Legendary.
oh my goodness,
Dude, that is so rare.
Remember how I mentioned how much luck you have? That's amazing.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
This isn't my account, though. That's useless to me.
It's still
All right.
awesome though. Anyway,
It says they demand we open the pack.
yeah, it's important.
great.
I cannot totally understand that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for all the great questions. If you have more questions, feel free to post them on our Facebook, Twitter. Or you can come to playhearthstone.com and engage in the forums.
Yeah, and we're still on target for beta this summer, and so keep an eye out for news soon of progress on that front.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thanks
for joining
a lot
us.
for joining us. This was awesome.
Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft.